Okay. Okay, seeing you just walk around New York, it's a shock to me. I never just see just anybody like you walking down the street. What do you do all day?
I pretty much stay here and I work on recording. I got a recording studio set up here. I do computer art and things like that. Then in the summertime I go out and I hang out on the street with some friends.
Seeing you walk through that village, you do that all the time too. That's scary.
Yeah. When you live in New York City, man, you see people a lot more famous than me walking around the street all the time. It's like I told you guys, I just ran into Johnny Ramone. I've seen Baryshnikov walking down the street. You name it, I've seen all kinds of big old people. They just walk down the street like it's no big deal.
Does it bother you when people say like the one guy? I could tell that you weren't annoyed, but some people annoy you when they say, "Bobby Steve," and they just.
Very rarely does somebody annoy me. They gotta really be acting like assholes to annoy me. It's like when you get the ones that they think they're being cool and they start yo, you're fucking rock star asshole, give me that shit. Or the ones that they just kind of rattle off all the shit from the live Misfits bootlegs. So they'll go, Bobby Steele's a homosexual, and shit like that. That kind of pisses me off. But you get used to it, man.
That was on. Glenn said that or something during concert.
I think Jerry said it. Yeah.
All right.
Let me know when you give up. Took me 20 minutes to figure out how to open that box.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And you said it was a long story about how you started or formed Undead. Undead a little.
Yeah, it was I started. It was originally called the Scabs, and it was me and Nats and Richie Metallion was the drummer at the time, and then I joined the Misfits. And actually, between the Scabs and the Misfits, I was in this band, the Warlords, for a while. I started off managing them while I was doing the Scabs, and then I broke up the Scabs and I started the Warlords, and then I wound up in the Misfits. It was just really a whole weird chain of events. It just I wound up in the Misfits, and then I would just on weekends if the Misfits weren't doing anything, I would just get together with Nats and Richie, and we'd just jam over Richie's basement and shit, working out Scab songs and stuff like that. And then when I got kicked out of the Misfits, I just got the Scabs back together as a regular thing. Richie didn't want to do the punk rock thing. He was getting into heavy metal, so we searched around, found Patrick Lang. We tried finding a singer, but none of the singers that came, that responded to our ad were any good, so I got stuck with doing most of the singing.
I like what you're saying. It's cool.
Thanks. I had to learn,
Yeah.
And did you figure it out yet?
No.
And so we got Patrick on drums, and then we all just kind of split up some of the vocals and shit. It just took off.
That's cool. I guess you like Legends up here in New York City, right? That's what I heard.
Yes, I guess somewhat. Yeah. I mean, we were the band that really helped launch. We're not the bands that started the hardcore scene, but we were the band that really gave it the the kick in the ass that it needed to really get going. I guess we were the ones that really made it into a scene. Before it was just a couple of bands here and there and stuff. We kind of solidified things because while most bands go up on stage and they're just out there for themselves. We'd go on and then at the end of the set, when we finished doing all the songs and shit, I would just announce what our other upcoming shows, where the bands were playing where and shit like that. And I just promote all these bands that turned around and stabbed me in the back in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come you're not in here?
I didn't play on that record.
Oh.
That's a Static Age band.
Static Age.
That was the first Misfits album that never came out.
When did you join the Misfits? How long into it?
I joined in November of '78. So the band was about a year and a half old at the time. It was a trip, man.
Is this a new Undead?
This is a demo that we were sending around and shit.
Off the record label, right?
What's that?
You were talking about Carolina Records label?
I'm hoping to get Caroline or Epitaph, somebody like that to pick it up. I don't want to go with a small label.
So you're tired of doing your own label now?
It's just I don't have the money to lay out to do it anymore. And I don't want to have to handle the business anymore. you know, one day, like in like 1983, I was walking down the street, and it was just like when like the homeless thing was starting to happen, and I like saw it, you know, I saw like people like in like in a box, and it really bugged me, you know, and I, you know, it just came to me like, you know, how can these people be like living like that, you know, and that's what inspired me. And I came home and I sat down and I wrote "We Don't Want the Poor in New York City," you know, and so just like anything, just like you can trigger it, you know, especially like when you're like get engaged to a girl and like leave New York City and move to someplace else, you know, and like you're a total stranger in a strange land and shit, and then you know, a few weeks before your wedding you find out that she's fucking around, you know, and you blow her off and you fucking come back and all of a sudden it's like song after song after song about this fucking miserable cunt, man, you know.
Speaking of the homeless, like when we were walking around, they just come up to you and beg for money.
They're real.
Yeah, what do you
Most
think of all that now?
they can be really annoying. A lot of people that do that aren't even like really homeless. Like you get like a lot of these punks that come out like in the summertime and shit, and they live on the Upper East Side in these fucking like $20,000 a month fucking condos, and they come downtown, they act like they're poor and they mooch money. It's like, you know, I don't give money to them. So I got this one guy that like lives like around the corner here. His name is Merlin. He's like one of my best friends, man. He like never asks for a fucking penny, and yet I'm sitting there talking to him. People like just walk up and just fucking hand him $20 bills. People like go to like fucking like fancy restaurants and they come back and they bring him like a lobster dinner and shit like that, you know. And he's just like, because he's a really nice guy and he's just got a lot of class, and he never fucking, if he asks for money, you know he needs it, you know. But usually it's like I'm hanging out with him. He's like, Bobby, if you need any money, just let me know, man. I can like loan you some and shit, you know. It's like, cause it's like just awesome, you know, cause he's a really nice guy. Yeah. But yeah, most of the homeless people they really, I mean, they're desperate, you know. So you kind of like gotta be understanding of it, but like, you know, it's annoying, you know. It's like,
Not that one guy. Old man just like grabbing us. He just kept, I don't know what he would talk. He just kept, you know, trying to grab me. And I'm just like, apparently I said I'm gonna make you. Get the fuck away from me.
yeah.
And he still wouldn't go until like he saw that I was serious.
Yeah.
And I had it, and then he walked away. But then it's like we keep seeing him ever since, you know. And
Yeah, it's like right outside. It was like, 15-minute ride to the city. So I was like, basically I was like in New York,
Yeah.
no big deal. This is your first time down here?
Yeah. That's where we lost all the time.
It's confusing the first few times you come in, and when you get the hang of it, man, it's just like, you really don't need to be any place but like the East Village, a little bit of like the village itself, but mostly the East Village is where everything is.
We were in a little bit of the village. I think it's Bob's Records.
Liquor Bob's, yeah.
Is that in the village or the East Village?
That's kind of like the village there, yeah. Yeah, so if you were Liquor Bob's, you were like about a block and a half like Generation Records.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause it's like right over there.
Yeah. We already got really lost. I thought it. I know where it is now. We were there twice today. But
Yeah.
We didn't know. We didn't. Neither of us thought about looking at the name. Is it upstairs?
No, it's right on the ground level.
Maybe we weren't there. We didn't see it. It's not near B's Dolphins anywhere, is it?
No, Big Mountains is up 6th Avenue. No, it's Liquor Bob's is on 3rd Street and McDougal. Okay. Now, you've got like the next street there is Avenue of the Americas. Okay. So you got Avenue of the Americas, and you got McDougal Street, then you got Sullivan, and then you got Thompson Street.
Well, this must be confusing for you.
Yeah. I can draw you a map if you want me to.
Yeah, that might help. I'm not sure if we're gonna make their cut first tonight. How many posters did that come out with? 'Cause I seen a couple of them now.
We just got that Never Say Die one, and that one. The only like real posters that we got out. And then we got this solo one that we did for the English tour. But I only got a few of those. Picked on, hung 2 of them up at the store last night.
So you got a computer. You do that much or no?
I don't do it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. You have to get one.
Yeah, for one thing, it's like, it's an incredible like waste of money.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Usually just
I know people that do, man. Their phone bills are like astronomical and shit, so they're on it all the time. And
you just get hooked.
yeah, I'm thinking I've got like a whole bunch of those like 10 hours free time.
Yeah, that's what we do. We'll
On American
cancel it
Online.
and then we'll call for more. And
Yeah. So I'm thinking I might just go online for the month of March because it's like my 40th birthday and shit. Just like get on there and just get on the Misfits page and just like fucking like talk with like Misfits fans and shit like that for a while. And then when my 10 hours expire, just fucking shut it off. Say thanks a lot, fuck it, man.
When were you born?
March 18th, 1956. Alright, let's see. How can I do this map for you guys? I'll do it after we do the interview, man. 'Cause I waste tape.
Yeah.
Oh, you have pencil scratches.
How many, do you have every single album that you guys did in Misfits?
Yeah,
Everything?
I got
even,
yeah.
Even like the
I was-
Plan 9 when it was on the first crust?
I saved everything, man. I was like, see, that's the thing, man. It's like I was the only Misfit that was like really, really like, Glenn seems to think that I was like not into the band, but like I was like the only one. Like you ask Jerry, only he doesn't have anything from the past because he didn't like the band. He fucking didn't give a fuck about the band. So he like gave away all his shit. And I like the day I joined, I said this band is gonna be the fucking biggest thing since Kiss. And I knew this band was gonna be like a great thing. I knew the potential that we had, and none of those guys ever like realized it, they kind of would tease me because I keep saying, we're gonna be fucking huge, man, and they're just kind of like, it's fucking jokes, make a few collector's items here and there, and shit like that, and they all like gave away all their shit, man. I had like 100 singles, that I held on to and shit, man. When I wanted to put out Act Your Rage, I just fucking took those out and sold them. They were going for like $125 a piece. I said I got them for $75, man. Sold them all. I took that money and pressed up Act Your Rage.
That was the first release then?
Mm-hmm.
It has you on it with the Mohawk, right?
Yeah.
And I have it. And the LP is the bonus track on this side.
No, there's no bonus track on the cassette. Oh wait, no, you're thinking of Never Say Die.
That's the one I have.
Yeah, right. There was a bonus track on the cassette of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you find it, still work all the time.
How rare is this one on white vinyl? Because I got that. It was on white
This
vinyl.
on white vinyl?
Yeah.
See, I'm like really not up on like the stuff that was put out after I was in the band, so I don't know how many of those were made. Actually, you know something? I think it says it in here. I was at I can't remember who was playing. It was a show at the Peppermint Lounge, and it was like a multi-level club, and I was like walking up the stairs, and there was a girl like right in front of me in blue jeans. She had like the most incredible ass. And that's all I remember. She's, I didn't say anything to her because she was with this guy. It just turned out to be a friend of hers, And about a week later, I was stopped at a payphone on the corner of St. Mark's and First Avenue, and I hang up the phone. I turn around, and there she is. She's screaming, "It's him! It's him! It's him!" And she goes, "You're gorgeous. I want." She just fucking picks up a fucking cigarette pack off the street, takes out lipstick, and writes a phone. She says, "Call me Thursday. My mother's leaving town." So I called her. We went out for about 6 years, something like that. And we broke up. And she met Dave, the drummer. And they got married. And she had been like learning guitar like all along while she was with me and shit. And she started writing songs. I was like, "This shit's fucking great, man." And I told her to get a band going. She started getting a band together, and I was like, "I'll play bass with you, man. It's fucking cool shit." Just like all came together. Okay, we want the legacy, right? That's it. 500 on white vinyl.
Yeah, listen, that demo was pretty sure good. They could hold me up.
Oh, the Times Square one?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't she fucking amazing, man? She's fucking wild, man. She's fucking the first girl to win the Golden Gloves. She's going into professional boxing. She's like a real fucking character.
If she goes to professional boxing, she'll come to Times Square.
It's gonna keep going. Basically, the boxing thing is just like a thing that's gonna help promote Times Square. I don't know if you ever saw the original Bullet, man. Oh, I didn't bring the insert with me. That's right. I'm like, that's the original Bullet's name. This was the colored vinyl reissue version.
And this is worth like big bucks.
Yeah,
Big bucks.
especially autographed by Franche Cohen, Mr. Jim. I didn't even like ask Jerry for his autograph. I like this one. I don't know. I didn't even know that Jerry had signed this one. I just like wanted to get Doyle's autograph on it.
The name Plan 9, did you guys get that from a movie?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Right.
Plan 9 from Outer Space, yeah.
Wow.
That's funny, I got all this shit autographed, man. It's like, people like looking at me like, "What the fuck you doing?" I was like, "Hey, I wasn't just a member, I was a fan too, You see, I got, Doyle, Jerry, Frank, and Jim.
He's Frank and Jim.
Franche Cohen and Mr. Jim. The other guys that played on Bullet. They did the whole Static Age thing. I got them on this too. Yeah, it's too bad you missed the in-store last night, man. It was crazy. It was fucking... My arm is like a little stiff today from doing that, man. It was like... It was crazy. Really fucking hectic.
Probably won't want to answer, but I'm just curious. Why did you and her break up? I mean, you guys sound so happy.
Because we're both like, we're kind of like both like A personalities, like we're like both like really high strung and shit. So like if one of us would freak out, the other one would calm it down. Just like, if one would freak out, the other would freak out and just like snowball. Before you know it, man, we're fucking like pulling out scissors and attacking each other and shit, man. So it just got to the point where we said, we better just fucking chill out, man.
Well, I guess, that's good. She stayed friends. That's like amazing. Usually people just, once it's like, fuck you, then it's just...
Yeah, well, it was like, it was a really weird, like the whole relationship was like really like strange because like, we were like really tight, It was like, it wasn't like, typical boyfriend-girlfriend type relationship, We were like, we did everything together. We were like best friends, We were like really like inseparable. So it was like, just because we couldn't get along, we like lived in this little apartment for 6 years, without killing each other, which is like fucking amazing, Last time I had a roommate, I had a 5-room apartment and I almost killed him, So, it was pretty amazing that we got along, living in this little apartment and shit, But I go up there and he tries out all the new recipes. He's working out the restaurant and shit, man. So I go up there, I get pizzas, burritos, all kinds of great shit, man.
So,
I keep forgetting too.
oh, so her husband isn't fine?
No,
That's good.
me and him are like best friends, man, you know? It's like,
That's good.
yeah, it's like Times Square is like the fucking perfect fucking band, man. It's like we all fucking get along really good, you know? You know, Jill's the leader of the band. She can't believe, like, she gets like what's really her first band, and she gets the drummer from the Devil Dogs, the guitarist from the Misfits, and like we sit there and whatever she wants us to do, we don't argue. It's like, you know, we play it the way you want us to play it, man. You know, it's like, you know, she's like, she can't believe, you know, we're so cooperative. She was afraid we'd be like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know? We're like, hey, man, she's got the fucking shit down. You know, she knows what she wants to do, and she gets it down. You know, so it's great. Not to mention she can kick our ass. Yeah.
What made you shave like grow out the mohawk?
It was just like, I have like a lot of respiratory problems and shit, and like finally I realized that, like, you know, to do the mohawk I would use an entire big can of hairspray, you know, to get it to stick up, you know, and breathing a fucking whole can of hairspray in every night was like, you know, I realized maybe that's like helping to fuck up my voice, so I figured I'd stop doing the mohawk and see if my voice improved, and it did. You know, plus it would take me like 3 hours to fucking do it, you know, and it'd take me like another hour and a half to 2 hours to wash it out. So it was like, right there, that's fucking 5 hours of my fucking day that I could be fucking sleeping, you know. So I just said, fuck it, man, you know, it's not worth it anymore.
That's why half the time we can't even get this up, not even liver spice.
Yeah. How long does it take you to get this up? This takes me like half an hour. Yeah, it's a lot easier, man, you know.
Did you do your mohawk by yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, first, like, Jill was one who, like, designed it. She's a hairdresser, and she was one who designed it. So at first, she was doing it for me all the time. Then we broke up, I didn't have her to do it, so I had to, like, do it myself and shit. And that's when I really got it. And I had to work out a whole system, you know, to get it to, like, fucking just, like, be, you know, because it wasn't like a mohawk that was all smushed together. It was, like, wide, you know, it had to be, like, you know, really, like, everything had to be, like, perfect, you know, so it would take me, like, forever to do it.
I can't even do it.
I mean, I'd sit there, man, I'd pull up, like, a little bit like this, I'd spray it, and I'd dry it until it was stiff, you know, it was just, like, I'd be there for hours, man, you know. I think Alice Cooper, oh, he's my fucking idol, man, yeah, because he was fucking good, but I got stopped on the street today by some, like, girl, she must have been, like, in her fucking, like, mid-40s and shit, man. She said, you don't just look like Alice Cooper. I used to hang out with Alice Cooper back in Max's. She says, you act like Alice Cooper too, man. She says, I see you walking down the street and I saw Alice Cooper all the way. It's weird, man. It's like, for a goof, like, I get to go with this band, Love Maker, and we do like an Alice Cooper tribute show every couple of weeks. And it's like, people are like freaking out. It's like, wait, I got a picture. They just brought me the pictures from the show, man. It's like, I got flyers. I just had a fucking sit here a minute ago, man. I moved it out of my way. Okay.
It's probably just under something.
I don't think it's yeah. This is like so fucking scary, man. Yeah, I would think so. If there's an even better one, man. If you didn't know who he was, you just walk up. And when I was a kid, I used to go to Alice Cooper shows and have like all these wannabes with the makeup and everything, you know. And I would just be in fucking like t-shirt and jeans, man. You know, people just be running past the wannabes going, "It's him, it's him."
That doesn't bother you to be clear doing that?
Ah, he's fucking. The guy's a fucking genius, man. Yeah, you know. I mean, he was really like a big, you know, influence on me when I started out. Yeah, tell me about it, man. It's the biggest nightmare of gigs. Yeah, the only trip I take with yeah. It's usually when it happens, man, lack of sleep and shit, man. I'm gonna end up like really sick by the end of this week, man. I gotta like rest up after tonight, man. I'm going to a party at Giorgio Armani's tonight. Yeah.
Where is that?
I'm not sure. This girl's supposed to call me and give me the directions. So I gotta meet her. She's got the best. big like high fashion designer and shit. Yeah. Yeah, the girl was at the in-store last night. She goes, I got an invitation to Giorgio Armani's party tomorrow night, man. You gotta come, man. They'll really freak out.
You gonna go with your makeup and everything on?
Yeah, they'll do it.
No Armani suit?
Nah, yeah, I was wishing I had an Armani suit, man, just to be real obnoxious, you know?
Did you go out of fan mail now?
What's that?
Did you go out of fan mail stuff?
Right now it's kind of slow because Undead hasn't really been doing much and shit, man. Mostly I just get like obscene phone calls from Misfits fans that hate me, you know?
I like Misfits, though. I like Undead more. I don't know. It's cool. I don't know.
I won't argue with that.
I don't know. I just don't like them that much.
Do you have like a list of all the stuff you've done on Undead?
I got an old catalog.
Last time I seen one, it had something about Spider-Man in it or something.
About what?
Something like Spider-Man or something. Spider-Man? Yeah. It's on the cover or something. I thought maybe I'm making up. Everything on the drugs that I used. I swear, like, I swear, man. I don't know who it shot. I saved everything it wrote. It's not good.
Like most of that stuff is sold out. There's not that one. It's been out there. Except for the first 245s.
Yeah, wasn't there one everyone with a blank spot though? It was down here or something. The video was,
Maybe, yeah.
The video was up here.
Yeah.
The book.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I never see this one. You see it's still available?
Yeah, that's still available.
I didn't see any of these. I never knew that one existed.
Yeah, I still got some of those.
What do they go for?
I think they're $5 British imports.
Do you have any of these left or not? Is that a video?
That's it's actually a fanzine compilation. I think I got might even have it here.
Yeah, how would you start with a fan club or anything, you know? Because I don't know anything.
Just what do you mean, like for your band or for
No, I
another
don't have
band?
that.
For another band?
Yeah, like the Undead Times Square stuff.
You contact the person in the band to see if they're interested in doing it. It's tight to have your responsibility to take on. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've had people like approach me about, you know, but like, you know, if somebody's gonna do it, they're gonna like really be ready to fucking handle it big time. You know? It's not a simple chore, and I don't want, you know, and you don't want somebody that's gonna misrepresent you. You know, so you really like, you know, you gotta get into their head and find out, like, you know what they're gonna do with it and shit.
Yeah, I'd have to. I don't even know what college is. I just thought it'd be sort of easy, actually.
Yeah, it depends if it's just like a fan club or if it's like the official, like, you know, artist authorized fan club, you know. Because you gotta like respond to, like, you know, the mail. You know, you gotta always treat the fans with respect, no matter how stupid they might, you know, be in their letters and shit, you know. And yeah, that's a good thing to say. Treat with respect, no matter how stupid they are. Because you get some like really like obnoxious mail sometimes, you know. People, you know, you get these people that they think that musicians should never be allowed to make a penny off of their work and shit, you know. They write you these letters, you know, like, you know, send me free stuff, send me a free record, send me a free t-shirt.
I don't know if it works for my life.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, what do you think I am, fucking rich, you know? I think I am Jerry Only, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like, you know, actually these people are like, you know, future record label people, you know. Gimme, you know.
Are all these out of print?
Not all of them. A lot of stuff's out of print. Some of the stuff is still in print. Some of the stuff I have here, so have you seen some of the new ones?
What about Live Slayer? I've looked for that everywhere on vinyl.
I think I might have a couple of them.
How much do they go for?
Nobody has.
Put this on pause.
Bang. Yeah, in fact, you movie about Times Square. That would be good.
Yeah, she's from New York City. She's like a real New Yorker. She like was born and raised like right up by she when she was like really young, she like lived like way up on the Upper West Side. Okay, and but most of her life she's like lived like right in the area of Madison Square Garden. You know, it was like, you know, when we were kids, we, you know, our parents took us to see like Disney movies and shit. Our father would take her to 42nd Street to see like women in prison movies, and, you know, kung fu movies and shit like that. You know, our father's like really fucking wild, man. You know, so like, she grew up a lot different from most people. She was like, I mean, her friends were like fucking the Wayans. You know, she was like, the youngest sister was like in her class, and that was her friend.
Oh, wow.
Her brother was like in Kim Wayne's class, had a vicious crush on Kim Wayne, you know, and the other brothers were like a lot older, but like she met all of them and shit like that. It was like, I remember the first time I saw Living Color, I like called up Jill. I was like, Jill, man, you gotta see this fucking show, man. They got your whole shtick. Because she like does all these like characters, Puerto Rican girls,
Yeah.
and, you know, so she's got like really down and shit, you know. I was like, Jill, these people are doing your whole shtick, and she's like, why? She's like, this is fucking hysterical. Then at Thanksgiving dinner that year, we were like talking about it, you know. And her brother like looks at her and goes, Jill, don't you know what the fuck that is? She's like, what? She goes, you know, fucking Damon. She's like, no, really? She goes, yeah. She didn't realize that it was these people she grew up with,
Oh,
man.
jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, the first band she was in was it's called Mad Bomber, and then after that was kind of like just like jerking around for a while. Then she got into Space Juniors. It was an Australian band. The singer relocated to New York and we formed the band here. But they were like really big in Australia. They had like a hit record in Australia and shit. It was like an independent release and just like fucking like caught on and shit. Yeah. He's got a band now called Junior High. He's a pisser, man. He's actually the bass player on the Times Square demo. So I was out of town and shit, so he was like filling in for me while I was away and shit. He did the bass on there and shit, man. He's a real character. He shows up at the gigs sometimes, man. He'll like be in the audience, they'd be like conducting the band, like, you know, in the backup box, and he's like, hey, you know, and singing along with us and shit. You know, we try to get him to come on stage, he won't come on stage and shit. He's a real trip, man. His name is Mick Roth. Like, he's a really cool guy.
That's R-U-T-H.
R-O-T-H. Yeah, just like David Lee, but no relation. Yeah, he's a trip, man. In fact, turns out, man, talk about small world shit. My manager's partner is Australian. It turns out she used to date Mick's brother. It gets really fucking weird, man. You know, we just fucking start seeing shit like that.
What's the drummer? Do you ever have any other bands before Times Square?
Dave? Yeah, he was in Devil Dogs,
Yeah.
Sylvain's Ugly Americans, Headless Horseman, Justin Trouble. That was his brother's band. They did work with Johnny Thunders and shit. So he's got a real background in music and shit.
Yeah, everybody stuff on mine.
Except for mine, man.
Can I ask, what was your childhood like?
I grew up in New Jersey. I spent most of my time just crawling around in swamps, catching like snapping turtles and getting stuck in quicksand. You know, I was like this little crippled kid that just lived dangerously, and I was like not your stereotypical cripple at all, man. I was like getting into all kinds of trouble, you know, setting fires to apartment houses, you know.
Yeah, the punk scene would work.
It was perfect for me, man. When it fucking happened, I was like, gee, man, tell me something I don't know.
How did you first get into it then? Like, because you were like young,
I was always like that when I was young and shit, you know, on my high school band, you know, always got banned for fucking doing crazy things and shit. And then, I've been seeing articles about the Ramones when they were just starting out and shit, you know. I was really curious about them. And then when, the first album came out, I heard I Want to Be Your Boyfriend on the radio, and the first thing hit me was, this guy sound like the fucking Beatles, you know? And so, my friend got that album and shit, so we all taped it and shit, you know, we cruise around listening to that. You know, and I was reading about, the Sex Pistols, you know, you keep seeing these stories about the Sex Pistols. And when Anarchy in the UK came out, I went to this record store that carried some punk shit here and there, and I went there and I was like, you gotta get me this, man. So the guy ordered a bunch of copies. I got that. I've actually got 2 copies of Anarchy in the UK and EMI that I picked up. And just from there it just started to snowball, man. It kind of was like any new punk record that came in, man, we'd fucking buy it, take it home, listen to it. If we liked it, we'd fucking tape it for each other and shit, you know. It just fucking grew, man. We started coming to some shows at CBGBs. It's fucking, I'll tell you, despite what anybody says about it, it's still the best fucking place in New York to play. Because for some reason, Hilly Crystal's got this reputation of being this scumbag that rips bands off. But he's the only fucking guy that ever pays bands. So I don't get where he gets his reputation. You know, it's when we first started wary of him, you know, because I'd heard, you know, yeah, watch Hilly, he rips you up and shit. So we would do sneaky things to, like, to be able to keep count of the door. And no matter how many people we counted, he always paid us for fucking more people than we counted. So when, you know, so then when people would say, you know, Hilly Crystal's a rip-off, I would be like, you're fucking full of shit, man, because I've checked and double-checked on Hilly, man. Hilly is so upfront and so legit, you know, that, you know, I refuse to fucking, you know, deal with people that think he's a crook. I mean, Times Square plays any place else in New York City, you get like $20. We play CBGB's, we walk out with like $150, you know, and it's like we're not even the fucking headline. We're like fucking fifth on the bill, you know. So you know, nobody can tell me that he's a fucking crook, you know. And it's like one time it was like second or third show we did there. It was like the club was fucking like packed to the rafters with people, and we got paid like I think it was like $250 or $300. And I got home and I thought about it. I was like, there was a lot of people that we should have gotten more money. And I went back to him the next day. I said, Hilly, man, the club was packed last night. How come we only got $250? He goes, let me show you. And he fucking pulls out and he's got a list of all the people that were like let in for free. You know, it was like fucking Plasmatics, Ramones, all these fucking, you know, people. They make a list of like every celebrity that like they got in free that night. And they show it to you. Look, this is who was here to see it. These people all got in for free. This was the count of people that paid. This was, you know, what was deducted to pay the door person and this and that and that. Just what you cut them up to me. You look at it and you're like, yeah, makes sense. You know? The guy just, he's very careful with keeping really, really good records of everything. And, you know, if you question him, you know, and you question him nicely about it, he'll fucking show you, you know. He'll show you, look, you know, I'm not ripping you off here. This was, you know, every fucking major band in town was here, so that's why the club was full, but the pay wasn't much, you know.
Have you ever been ripped off from anybody?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who's ripped us off, man. We actually got ripped off by, God, what was it? Rock Hotel. We got ripped off by, the old Anthrax Club in Connecticut. Ripped us off. Mostly like when the Undead gets ripped off, it's like clubs that like, they'll call me up, they'll say, yeah, you know, we want to set up a date with you, we'll discuss a tentative date, I'll send them a contract, and then I won't hear from them again. Next thing I know, they're advertising the fucking show. You know, and that, you know, that's how we usually get ripped off. It's like, you know, they just like advertise on names. Like a lot of clubs don't want to pay us what we want. You know, they'll say, oh, you guys aren't big enough to get, you know, $500. But then they fucking won't think twice about fucking advertising our name and fucking bringing in all that fucking money, screwing the fucking fans. And, you know, then what happens is next time we have a legitimate gig in that town, people are like, yeah, sure, like the last time, you know, and they don't bother coming out. You know, so it's like a double fuck you. You know, so like a lot of times, you know, if a club does that, we try to find out, and we just, you know, just like let people know, look, you know, if you ever see the Undead advertised at that club, don't go, because we're never going to fucking pick that place. There was like this one club down in Memphis. Fucking advertised in like fanzines and had people like mail ordering tickets for a show that was never fucking confirmed. They never fucking sent the contract back on, you know. And like our contract specifically states, the first thing on the contract says, you know, this contract is invalid until I receive it, and they're not to even advertise it until I've received the contract, and the contract has to be sent back to me by either certified mail or Federal Express. So they can't say, oh, I mailed it to you, must have got lost in the mail. You know, and I send, and same thing, I send the contract, always Federal Express or certified mail. So this way, when you get the contract, you sign for it. It was like this club in Pennsylvania. We were supposed to play there like Halloween last year. And I sent the guy the contract like in like August. And 2 months later, I still haven't gotten the contract back. And like calling the guy, I'm not getting a response. I've got the fucking return receipt with a signature on it. And like 2 days before the show, the guy calls me. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, well, I've been trying to reach you. We never got the contract back. And he goes, well, I never got the contract. I'm like, listen, I got a return receipt with your signature on it. Don't tell me you didn't get the fucking contract. You know? And it's just after that I got my manager. If I had my manager at the time, he would have fucking like, he would have gone and sued the club.
So what do you do in cases? Do you sue if you don't get
You
your
can.
contract back, or?
Well, not if you don't get the contract back, but if they fucking like start advertising that you're
Yeah.
playing when you're not, you know, you can sue them. You know, I mean, it's a hard thing to do, and it's usually not worth it. But you know,
How do you usually handle it?
you just let people know that you're not going to play that club ever again.
Oh,
You
so
know?
you do play the show?
No, I don't. No, I don't do the show.
Oh.
And you know, and then I hear from fans that it was advertised, and I said, look, we didn't have any agreement to play there, and you know, now we know the club did falsely advertise us. You know, let everybody know they'll never go to an Undead show at that club because we're not going to do a show at that club. You know, it's the only way I can handle it. You know, at this point, because now I got a manager and shit. It's like you can like randomly come down here because of that shit.
How does Cleveland usually treat you?
We do really good in Cleveland. I've like every time we played Cleveland, we played Babylon a Go-Go. The 2 times we played out there, and we did like really good there. They treated us really good. They took good care of us and shit, you know. So I like playing Cleveland. You know?
We played Toronto.
I don't like Cleveland bands. It's only one Cleveland band that I ever heard that I liked. Whatever. You know, any other Cleveland band I ever saw, it's like they get these concepts, but like the music just isn't there. It's like, you know, it's everything. All the bands out there just seem to like have like an in-joke thing going there, and it's like, but the music doesn't carry it off and shit, you know. But you know, we did a show like last summer with Whatever, and like, I was like, these fucking guys are great. And after the show, I went up to them, I said, you guys are the first Cleveland band that I've ever liked since the Dead Boys, you know. Yeah, but you know, but the people out there are really, really nice people and shit.
Do you have you ever heard of Integrity?
I think they were supposed to play with us once, but I don't know if they made the show or what. But I know I've heard of them. You know, they supposedly they got a good reputation.
Yeah.
They're still
Real
around,
good.
huh?
Yeah.
They've been around for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever heard them. You know, a lot of times, like when we do shows, I don't get to hear the opening band. So I'm fucking doing other things.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, unless a band like gives me a tape or a record to like listen to, you know, I don't get to see them unless, you know, usually like we get down like a day early to go to the club and like check out bands and shit like that. You know.
Okay, what about the band called Septic Death?
Never heard them.
Really? So you don't know who Pusshead is?
I know what Pusshead is, yeah.
That's his band.
Oh, that's his band?
Yeah, that's his band. Well, it was.
Is he from Cleveland?
I don't know where he's from. I think he's from Idaho.
Oh, really?
He's somewhere from over there.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't care for me, man. Does it all, you know. But he was always tight with Glenn and Jerry and shit, you know. So he was always like, you know, he always bought their, you know, their whole line. You know, Bobby Steele's this horrible, fucked up asshole and shit, you know. You know that bit, Bobby Steele's an asshole, fucking fuck. You know, that fucking bootleg. You ever hear that one? Yeah, they fucking the Teenagers from Mars, man. They fucking like, they start, you know, they're like, we're changing the words to this song about somebody who used to be in the band. They go into the chorus and they're like, here's some new words. Bobby Steele's an asshole, fucking cunt. Bobby Steele's an asshole, the Undead suck.
What do you do about stuff like that? That would piss me off.
I'm working on a lawsuit right now.
Yeah.
Because I've got like a stack of Xeroxes of interviews with these guys. It's about this big.
I mean, it's so
Where it's like,
slander.
it's all slanderous, man, you know? I mean, I got like, just cut it out, man, so I'm just like reading it. Publisher. I got this one interview with Jerry, man, where he says that I stole the Undead from him. What's his name? Oh, this fucking... oh, here it is.
I'm always Undead.
Yeah, it's like, you know, so like a lot of people like won't even like give us a chance because they fucking like, they think Glenn and Jerry are like the most honest fucking guys in the world, you know?
I can't stand that either.
I like the first album, the second album, the third album I couldn't deal with, man. But you know, it's like in here, man. It's like Jerry like talks about fucking like that I stole the Undead from him. You know, he does shit like this. You know, I've got nothing bad to say about Bobby. And he goes, you know, like let's see. Yeah, it's even like the guys at the store tell me they heard some, you know, they heard some of the new stuff, and they said it's they're just doing Christ the Conqueror stuff. You know, it's just like heavy metal. That they're going to be doing is, you know, is they phase out the old Misfit shit. You know, it's like, you know, first off, Jerry doesn't have the right to call his band the Misfits because he only got permission from Glenn, and Glenn only had a quarter of the band. We had an agreement when I was in the band that each one of us owned a quarter of the fucking band. You know, so, you know, I'm trying to get hold of Joey again, because I was like, you know, me and Joey like ran into each other a couple of years ago and we exchanged phone numbers and shit, but he kind of like vanished again, so I'm trying to track him down and shit. Now all this shit's coming out, so I want to make sure Joey gets his cut. And see if we can get hold of Glenn and say, Glenn, you know, did you forget about our fucking agreement? You know, you can't go giving Jerry permission to use a fucking name that you didn't have the right to give him permission to use. You know, and try to like stop Jerry from calling his band the Misfits, because all it's gonna do is it's gonna fucking devalue the Misfits when people like realize that it's not the real band.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He keeps making recordings and selling it.
He's gonna keep recording stuff with this new lineup, calling it the Misfits when it sounds nothing like the Misfits.
It's just, I think that's sad when you have a great band and they broke up years ago, and then you have just the one guy left, and he'll start up a whole new band, and it's like, that's not the way it should be.
Glenn had every right to do it. You know, Glenn created the fucking band, but he didn't fucking go when he fucking split with Jerry. He didn't fucking turn around and call Sam Hain the Misfits. You know, he called it Sam Hain because it wasn't the Misfits. It was, you know, it was not just that it was different people, but it was different music. You know, and so he changed the name. You know, I mean, you know, you gotta get, you know, no matter what, you know, how much of a scumbag Glenn might be, at least he's got the class to fucking like not deceive fans. You know, what Jerry's doing, you know, the way I see it, it's just outright deception.
Times Square to play a lot of shows, isn't it?
We're at this point we're like doing about 3 shows a month. That's actually more than the Undead's ever done, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I pitched Undead playing all the time.
Now, for, you know, because clubs are too damn cheap. They don't want to fucking pay a band, you know. It's like Times Square can get a lot of gigs because, like, we don't ask for any money at this point. We just, you know, we're going out there, we're just, you know, getting the name around and shit, you know. But as soon as you, like, want to get paid, man, it's like, you know, even if you're the Ramones, you go into a club in New York City and, like, you know, you want to get paid, they're like, you want to get paid? Shit, we can't afford to pay you, man. We got overhead, you know. You know, they felt like laying out all this shit. You know, we got to pay the janitors, we got to pay the floor sweepers, we got to pay the sound man. It's like, well, hey, don't you think the fucking musicians are worth what the janitors worth at least?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's like, you know, you get like the Limelight. Fucking, it's a huge club. They charge $20 admission. The place holds like 2,500 people, and they don't want to fucking pay a band fucking even $300. Oh, we got. You know, it costs us $2,500 just to open the doors because we got to heat the place or air condition it. Then we got to pay all the janitors. We got to pay this and that. And it's like, you know, it's like, damn it, you know. The janitors get like $50 a night. Why can't you fucking give each band member $50? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like this. They just don't want to fucking. They don't want to give, you know, they don't want to give musicians anything. You know, it's like, and then when the band fucking makes it big, they're like, you know. Oh yeah, we were with you all the way, you know. It's like, fuck you, man, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much contempt for New York clubs, man. You know, there's very few clubs that I have. You know, like, I have a lot of respect for Youngly, man, because like I say, he treats the fucking bands with respect. You know, it makes you feel like, you know, you're worth something when you play there. These other clubs, you know, they don't give you the fucking time of day. You know, you go in there and it's like, you know. They put you on a bill with fucking like 30 bands. You know, you're scheduled to go on at 10 o'clock. You wind up going on at 4 in the morning. You know, they just treat you like total fucking shit. You know, with CBGBs, everything's like very well organized. You go in there and it's run really, you know, it's run very professionally. You know, you walk out of there feeling like, you know, you accomplished something. Not like you were shit on.
Do you get to say to owners how much you want the tickets to go for, or do they just charge whatever and you just give?
It depends on like what kind of clout you got. You know, it's like some places the Undead like has enough clout that we can kind of like put a restriction on the ticket prices. What I usually will do though is because like sometimes clubs will say to you, we're only going to charge $6, and you get there and charging $20 and shit. So what I try to do is I try to like get the ticket price out of it, and I put the ticket price in the contract. This way, if I find out they're overcharging people, I can say something to them and shit.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. Because they're just, because they're dicking the band over, and especially like when you've agreed that it's going to be $6 door, and you fucking like mail out flyers saying it's $6, and then your fans get there and it's $10.
Yeah.
Then they think that you're the fucking scumbag. Everybody blames everything on the fucking band. It's like it's really fucking bad. I mean, I get people writing to me, you guys were supposed to play such and such club last night. You didn't show up. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I call them up, I'll be like, if they leave their phone number, I'll call them up and I'll be like, listen, we never even fucking had that show booked. If you don't believe me, go to the club and ask them for the contract. Ask them to show you the contract. I guarantee they won't be able to show you the contract with my signature on it.
One of the things that drives me crazy when I go to buy tickets for any show is, like, pretty much you have to go through some sort of a Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And they've got that outrageous fee.
How much is it? How much is the fee now?
Here it's $4 something.
Here in New York, it's $4 something.
That's crazy.
Cleveland, Belkin was charging, I think it's $250 or $275 for just the charge.
I can see like
and if the
$2,
tickets and if the tickets
know?
are like 30 or something,
Yeah.
like when the Ramones came with White Zombie, they were 28 or something. There was like almost a $5 cap on it. It was just,
it's like
that's a lot of
if they're
money.
only selling the tickets through the fucking ticket company, they should advertise the fucking price. If it's fucking $25.
Yeah, they weren't advertising the price.
There's a $25 ticket and there's a $5 service charge. They should just fucking advertise it's $30.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
You know what I mean? So you're not fucking getting bait and switched.
Yeah. Like sometimes you go there and you don't remember what the charge is or whatever, and you just have, enough. And you're just like, oh my god, I don't have any money on me.
Yeah. I just, a lot of the way things are run, man, it's like, sure, the ticket service isn't tough to make some money on the tickets, but like, $2, maybe $2.50, I can kind of see. But fucking $4 or $5, man, it's like, all you're doing is fucking pushing a button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's like, you figure, like, when you got, like, a big show, like, say, like, a big arena fucking show, say, like, Danzig's coming to town, okay? A store is gonna fucking, they're gonna fucking sell, like, 500 tickets in, like, fucking half an hour. So why should they fucking make 500 times $5, in half an hour? $2,500 for half an hour's work? That's when you start like looking at it in that perspective, it's unreasonable. I just think in a lot of cases the ticket price is just way too fucking high. I don't see why you should have to pay fucking $30 to see two bands at an arena, and fucking pay $30 for a fucking t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that's because it's just all this greed, man. It's like the band. You think the band's making that $30? The band's probably like winding up with fucking 50 cents out of the fucking t-shirt. Because the company that made the t-shirt gets their cut. The company that fucking selling the t-shirt gets their cut. The arena automatically fucking takes 20 to 25%.
Down in New Jersey when they were playing.
Yeah, the independents didn't even sell their shirts.
Yeah, they were. There was like a 30% cut or something. They were taking out of them.
Like, see, what I do is I have it in our contracts that, all income from merchandise is the property of the Undead. A lot of times, like, they don't read the contract. And they sign it. And then we get there, they're like, well, you gotta give us 20% on the t-shirts. I said, no, we don't. You signed the contract. This is right here. You don't get anything. They look at the contract and I'm like, you got us. Because, it's like, they're not giving the band a cut of the fucking bar.
Yeah.
When I was, when I started playing, the way it worked was like, it was like maybe like $2 or $3 admission. Sometimes it was only $1 to get into a fucking show. The band got 100% of the door, and anywhere from 25 to 50% of the fucking bar. And it wasn't until you start getting these fucking wimpy ass fucking bands that had no fucking guts to fucking stand up and argue for fucking money that fucking all of a sudden the clubs are getting everything.
Yeah, especially this one place down in Cleveland now, it's by buy your tickets at Ticketmaster, so you're paying the charge plus the fee, or plus the ticket itself.
Yeah.
Then, when you get to the club itself, giving you a ticket, if you're under 21, it's an extra $2.
They have to make up beer.
They have to make up for like not selling the beer.
Yeah.
I know, it's fucking, you know, you can't tell me these clubs aren't fucking making a lot of fucking money, man.
Oh, I know.
You know, so it's like, you know, that's the whole fucking thing. That's like, you know, Green Day's like really cool. You know,
they were selling tickets for $5.
For arena shows.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, you know, because they're a very simple band. You know, they don't fucking have like, you know, a big set and shit like that. You know, it's just them with their guitars and amps. You know, so it's like, their overhead is low, so they say, look, you know, $5, 20,000 people, $100,000, we get fucking, I mean, they're walking out of there with fucking probably like $20,000-30,000 anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and it's like, because of the low price, more people are able to afford it. So they, you know, same thing with Fugazi, man. You know, it's like, you know, they've got the reputation and shit, and they know that if they charge just $5, they're gonna fucking draw like 2,000 or 3,000 people to a show, and they're gonna make, you know, there's always like a threshold point where like, you know, there's like 10,000 people can afford to pay $5. If you raise the price up to $6, 9,500 people can afford that. You go up to $7, now you cut that number of people down to like 7,000. You know what I mean? You go up to $10, now you fucking cut it down to 4,000 people. You wind up like getting more per ticket, but less people, and in the long run you're making less money.
Yeah.
You know, and so you find out that you try to figure out like where that point is where you're going to make the most money. You know, and you know, it's usually like, you know, if you find that point, what can people really afford to pay? You know, and that's what you try to charge instead of like, how much can we squeeze them for? You know. I remember a couple of years ago, man, there were these fucking shows at Giant Stadium. What was it? It was like Alice Cooper, Motorhead, Judas Priest. Was that fucking Monsters of Rock thing?
Yeah, that's old.
Fucking playing Giant Stadiums. Fucking the place holds like fucking like some like 50 to 70,000 people. We sold 7,000 tickets. Those tickets were fucking like $60.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know, I mean, sure, it was worth it. You know, it was worth it if you're into those bands because they're all like fucking like big name bands. But like, the fucking people putting these bills together forget that like, you know, even though it's worth $60, how many people can afford the $60?
Oh, I know that.
You know?
They're even for a band that I would love. I could not see myself paying that price.
Look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert. It was $500 a ticket.
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah, they were, and Ticketmaster was not saying how much the charge was. They never said how much the charge was. It was never on. You paid $500, you got it. That was it.
And if you did buy a cheap ticket, like here's the stage.
You were
here
all
was
the
your
way.
seat.
You
couldn't even see a thing.
Yeah.
Just forget it.
Yeah.
You weren't being there. What do you think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Are you guys in there with the Misfits?
Not yet. No. No, we got a few more. What is it? 20 years or 25 years? You have to be around.
20 years.
Yeah. Well, the Ramones are in there.
I think it's 20 years.
Yeah, it's 20 years. So we'll be eligible next year.
Are you guys gonna? Did somebody approach you about that, or do you?
I don't know, cause like nobody tells me what's going on with the Misfits. You know,
Oh.
you know, we don't talk. So you know, I'm like, you know, now that you know the record company's realizing, you know, all the games that they played with me and shit, the record company's like starting, you know, treat me with respect and shit. So hope that they'll like let me know if there's an induction ceremony for the Misfits. You know, and also like, you know, they're gonna like notify me if we get nominated for a Grammy. Cause the box set is up for a Grammy. It's going up for a Grammy. We'll probably win the Grammy for the best packaging for this year. You know, I got my acceptance speech all worked out, man.
So you definitely want to be there, man?
If I'm like notified, you know, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that I'm notified and shit. You know, I want to be there to fucking get my little gold fucking phonograph machine. You know, it's like I'll go out there, I'll just take the thing out and be like, does this mean I'll get paid now?
You know, she's on national television.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say, man. If I haven't seen any money yet, man, I'll just be like, does this mean I'll get paid now? I'm like the little Richard of punk rock, you know? It's like, check this message, man. Might be the girl.
Bobby, this is Bob. Hold on. Yeah, we couldn't find generation.
Hey, fuck him, man. I'm not gonna call that asshole. Oh man. This girl hasn't called me. The party starts in half an hour. I can find this girl's number here.
Get ready.
She was like, I know you're not gonna call me. I know you're not gonna fucking call me. You're just sticking me around.
She gave me 2 phone numbers, and I called both of them left messages. No, I'm gonna go to the show at the Continental tonight.
Who's playing there?
It's a band. Scratch, Scrape, something like that. Some girl that I've like known for a couple of years. She's got this band, so I'm gonna go check them out and stuff.
Are these the new demos here? The Undead?
Yeah.
Is it gonna still be all the original guys, or?
No, that's just me by myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'll be weird.
Oh yeah, is it Nicole? Yeah, it's Bobby Steele. I told you I'd fucking call. Did you get my message? Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, what time is that party? Okay, get your shit together and give me a call and we'll arrange to meet and everything. Yeah, I'm just doing an interview right now and shit here, so it's some guys from Buffalo. What's the name of the magazine?
1QT5.
All right, 1QT5. It's a fanzine from Buffalo. So yeah, as soon as we wrap this up, man, I'm gonna get my shit together and get ready to go up there. Yeah, I'm at home. So give me a call when you're ready. Okay, where do you live? Oh, you're down in Tribeca. Okay, I'm in the East Village, so maybe we can like meet midway. All right, cool. Okay, bye. Crazy girl, man.
Well, we're gonna.
That's it. They want to
Yeah.
All right, man. Did you want to buy these or?
Yeah, I did, but see, we're going.
You want to
straight
drag them to the remote?
Yeah, and I'm afraid it's gonna get like messed up.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
definitely.
there a way I can like maybe write to you and send you a record box, and then just have you throw it in there and send it back?
Yeah,
to me?
sure. You know, otherwise, what time are you leaving tomorrow?
Probably it's not really.
Are you gonna leave tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll be at that party.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, because I'd like to get that. I wanted the other demos on
Yeah.
the new.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do it that way. Otherwise, what you might want to try doing is when you get out of the Ramones, it's probably gonna get out late.
Okay.
You can check the Continental. I might be at the Continental.
And where's that?
That's like right around the corner from Coney Island High on 3rd Avenue.
Okay.
Okay, you can check to see if I'm there.
3rd Avenue. So we got to go that way anyways, right? To like get to the station.
Yeah, it's like when you come out of Coney Island High, you make a right,
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
and you go around the corner, and it's like
And then
right there.
it's on the same block on the right again.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If I'm not there, call me hero. You know, and if I'm home, I'll hook up with you.
All right.
Do
Yeah.
too.
All right, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because I really wanted to get this because everyone's telling me this is a killer album.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I wanted it to really be out on vinyl because it says Undead, Slayer, you know.
It's cool because for like years, people were like, you know, you guys sound so much better live than on the fucking vinyl and shit, you know. And you know, all I ever had was like board tapes where it's like the guitars like mixed like really low and shit like that, you know. So it's just like all vocals and it's like really annoying to listen to. And I just Jilla just bought this 4-track. So I took it to a show just to try it out, and I recorded the show, and I'm sitting here like listening to the tape, like doing like a mix of it, and I'm like listening. I'm like, they're right, we are fucking better live than on the fucking records, man. So I fucking spent like the entire summer, man, fucking just like working on fucking like fine tuning the tracks and shit, and mixing it, and put it out, you know. It's like
What's your John?
this girl Gina, man, she's like a friend of mine, and she's like a great artist, man. It took her like 3 days to
so
do that.
Cute. Look at that guy right there. It's great.
Yeah, in his face.
Catch that?
Yeah, I saw that before.
I wanted, where is it?
It's hilarious.
I wanted this to be Glenn. Yeah, that would have been so funny, man, you know.
What do you think about him
Enough
now?
to get your tape. What's that?
What do you think about Glenn now, like since he's all big and muscular now?
If he's enjoying what he's doing, man, it's, you know, it's his right to do it, you know. I mean, like I said, I liked his first 2 records, you know. I didn't like Lucifuge. No, wait, Lucifuge, what was the second one?
Huge 2? Was that it?
No, it was,
I don't know.
the first one and the second one I liked. It was the third one I didn't like. Was that How the Gods Kill?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I haven't heard the 4th one yet.
It keeps getting more and more mellow.
Does it really?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Now I heard like he's gonna like start like a new band. It's gonna be like industrial. He's got like You know, the rumor is he's got one of the guys from Skinny Puppy and one of the guys from, I think, Godflesh. He's doing like an industrial thing, so. With Glenn, man, anything works. You know, I mean, the guy is he's got a knack, you know, for like, just like going from one thing to another, fucking like doing a really good job of it, you know. And then when it starts to get played out, he changes again, you know.
Okay,
Don't forget your tape.